It's the Sanderson Trail report from the northeast side of Apache Peak, Friday 21st of March 2025, and come out here to take a look at current conditions. That is the track northbound behind me. We've just gone across and come back along that and give an idea of what the track looks like that we've come in on. Annabelle making it look as easy as she always does. With spikes, and I would recommend an ice axe if you know how to self-arrest. It's relatively straightforward. I would imagine most folks at this time are probably going through up and over, what I would call up and over at Apache Peak. So that's, well, I'm currently at about 169.5. At about 169.2 or 3 you can see an obvious saddle ahead of you and go up and over that way. That doesn't mean that you avoid snow and ice. There are plenty of other chutes further ahead between about 170 and 175. There are a handful of chutes, and then coming around Red Tuckwitz at about 175 is a relatively challenging slope, not as steep as this. I'm going to just walk on a section to give you an idea of what it looks like underfoot. Hopefully this will work fairly well. Come on, baby, let's go. And so there are fairly good tracks, decent post hole. The track is off trail there. I cut some tracks coming across here. It's getting a little soft underfoot this morning, relatively mild. If this is not for you, then it's not for you. And like I say, either go up and over or take one of the alternates, such as Spit the Peak Trail, which I'll talk about in a minute. Now you realise the advantage of having 4 legs instead of 2. So there we go. Like I say, for those relatively experienced on snow and ice, with spikes and preferably an ice axe, poles would probably be okay, but you're not going to self-arrest with poles. And Spit the Peak Trail, the alternate's at 168.5. I came up that way. Generally it's pretty well maintained. I've been looking after it for well, many years now, and it's unfortunately, with the snow and ice storms in the last month, there are about another 20-25 trees down. Most of them are pretty small. They're pretty easy to either step over or go underneath. There's one big one, but we'll get to those hopefully somewhere in the next week or two. The weather's warm, mild, getting warmer, particularly over the next week or so, the remainder of March. So this will continue to melt. That will in general make things easier. As you go through, it's easier to dig steps, but it is you know, not passable without spikes at a minimum, and like I say, some experience on this kind of terrain. If that's not your thing, take the alternate, or like I say, go up and over, but that doesn't mean you avoid all of the possible snow and ice options. Coming around 175 at Red Tuckwitz, the track's similar. The slope's not as steep, but it's a post hole track through fairly angled terrain as well. And otherwise, always a beautiful day here in the Sanderson Mountains, and safe hiking, everyone.